Hey folks, I have a pretty interesting gun here today. Of course you'll hear me say that about a lot of guns because I find most guns interesting, but this one is particularly interesting. It is the CZ1927. This is an improvement on the CZ24 and 22. The CZ24 was chambered in a 9mm Kurtz, also known as the 380. This is chambered in the 7.65mm, which is the 32 ACP. This, other than caliber, one of the biggest differences you'll see between this and the CZ24, the cocking serrations on this are vertical, whereas on the CZ24 they are sloped. This right here is the 7.65mm. It's a tiny little round. Some people call it a mouse gun. It'll actually do a lot more damage than just hurting mice. One of the fascinating things I find about ammunition, and I'll say first off, there's two general categories of things I find interesting about ammunition. First is the Soviet theory on ammo. Second is the European preference for these small calibers. Apparently they believe that a 32 ACP is sufficient for self-defense and police work. And this primarily was a police handgun. Or that's what it was used for, I should say. Now this one here came with a holster and one magazine. Early pre-occupation 27s were marked Eska Zbrojovka AS Upraz, which is basically made in Czech arms factory in Prague. Between 1939 and 45, Germans occupied Czechoslovakia, but they did continue production, and they were marked Böhmische Waffenfabrik in Prague, which is translated as Czech arms factory in Prague, or Czech can be translated also as Bohemian. They are marked FNH. There is some confusion on this. Some people believe that these were made in Belgium by Fabrique Nationale Herstal. That is not correct. That is just the German factory code for the Czech arms factory. About 700,000 of these were made total. 450 of them were made during occupied Czechoslovakia, occupied by the Nazis, and production continued until 1941. Now, I've seen different numbers as far as total production. Some of them have them 650,000, some 600,000. It's kind of hard to tell with a lot of these Czechoslovakian firearms, because when the communists took over after the war, most firearms records were completely destroyed. So it's kind of hard to say. This gun in excellent condition is $500, very good condition $375, good $250, fair $200, poor $150, and add 25% for Waffenamt. The holster on this is in excellent condition $100, very good $75, good $50, and fair $25. Add 50% for Waffenamt on these. It does come with this one pistol. I was able to put 9 rounds in this. I don't know what it's supposed to be for. The 9th round was extremely tight, and I'm not sure if it's meant for 9 rounds. I've actually not seen it printed anywhere as far as what the correct number of rounds is. And one thing I'll say on that, I am in early research on this, so my research is not conclusive. I have a little bit more to go, but I did want to load this video up into YouTube now, just because it is so interesting. Now mine is in really good condition, with the exception of the magazine release is broken on the bottom, which kind of makes it a little bit hard to release the magazine, but that's not uncommon, and I can get this part from Numeric Arms catalog. They're just sold out right now. There is a small chip also on the grip on the magwell. Mine is marked, as I said, FNH Pistola Model 27, caliber 7.65. It is not marked Bohemisch Arms Bohemische Waffenfabrik in Praz, because I'm not sure why, but it is not marked that way. It does have Waffenamt here, here, and one right here on top. When I bought this holster, they told me that the holster is not Waffenamt. But just today I discovered it is. It's really, really hard to see, but right here you can start to see the eagle, or I'm sorry, the W on there. And I'm not sure if there's an eagle up here. Not exactly sure, but this was Waffenamt. It's just very hard to see. And there's some sort of number in here. Not exactly sure what it is. Some sort of marking. And here is the CZ on the grip. It's also marked PMOD 27 on the bottom. Just going off the top of my head here, I believe I read that the magazines are typically not Waffenamt on these. Not sure on that though. One thing I think is really interesting on this is the safety. The safety is actually, you flip this little lever down and it's on safe, and actually it does not fire without a magazine. So right now it's on safe. To take it off safe, you just press the button, which I think is pretty neat. See, now I cocked it. There is no there is no slide release, so now I have to take the mag out, which is a little bit of a chore, but I don't know, I just thought that was pretty neat. Here we go again on safe. Press the button, off safe. Safe, off safe. I think that's really cool. It does have a good trigger on it, and I'm going to have to release the slide to show you. It has a really good trigger on it, really crisp trigger, which is just a little bit rare for handguns, military handguns of that era. Not all of them have good trigger. Now, I read that, and this especially applies to the pre-occupation pistols. These are extremely high quality and put together, and early occupation pistols were very similar to that, extremely well made, very good fit and finish. This one here has really good fit and finish, so I'm not sure. I'm still looking at the serial number on here to find out the actual date this was made. So, but looking at the fit and finish, I think it probably maybe one of the early occupation guns. Not exactly sure on that though, like I said, I'm just guessing. And of course, as you know, if you've studied World War II, if you know about firearms production of the Nazis, towards the end they were kind of in a panic and just needed guns really bad. So the fit and finish on all firearms produced by the Germans and German-occupied countries, the fit and finish decreased on these. Disassembly on this is fairly simple. There's a button right here. You press the button and it'll go in just a little bit. It's spring-loaded. And actually, let me take the magazine out first. So you press the button and you slide this part down. Once that's slid down, then you pull the slide back just a little bit and pull this out. This piece here comes out of the front. This is just loose. And you gotta twist it. There it is. And this fits together just like this. But there's all the pieces. A lot of pieces to this gun here. Now I'm going to put as much of this together as I can on camera. There's actually a couple parts that are kind of difficult to do. You actually have to line things up. It's not hard to do, but it's something that I don't think I'll be able to do on camera. I will try though. Now this is the difficult part. So if I can accomplish this on camera, I am just smoking. I'm on fire, man. And wow, I did it. It's about the easiest I've ever gotten it together. So this is it. This is the CZ1927 with Waffenamt Nazi markings. If you have any questions, let me know. Semper Fi. I just got back from the range shooting my pistol Model 27, and it shot pretty well, as you can see. Pretty good groups. It's a very shootable pistol. Shot really nice. Handy little thing. Now, of course, nowadays not many people would walk around with a 32 caliber pistol. 380 is kind of, as far as conventional thinking goes, is about the minimum that you would carry for a self-defense round. But for this, I mean, this little pistol here would make a pretty decent carry gun if, you know, not for the fact that it wasn't 32. Nowadays, we would put something like this at 9mm, would be the chambering, something of this size. But back then, I think 9mm in this size here was pretty much unheard of. But nice, handy little pistol. And just to kind of give you a little size comparison here, this is a M&P Shield, Smith & Wesson Shield, and they're similar in size, but of course the Shield shoots the 9mm and is modern polymer. This is all steel, but I enjoyed shooting it. It's fun to shoot.